Some photos were never meant to be seen. They weren't staged. They weren't planned. At the moment they were taken, nothing seemed wrong. But later, when people looked closer, they realized something was there, something no one saw at the time. Tonight I'm going to show you 4 real photos found online. And I'll only tell you one thing about each of them: what feels wrong. First, let's look at the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. This photo was taken in 1936 inside a historic English mansion. The photographers, Captain Hubert Provand and his assistant Indre Shira, were documenting the grand staircase for an article in Country Life magazine. They set up their equipment, ready to capture the empty, elegant space. As they were preparing, Shira suddenly saw a faint, vaporous form slowly moving down the stairs. He shouted to Provand to take the picture. Provand, who saw nothing, quickly removed the lens cap and took the exposure. At the time, they weren't sure what, if anything, they had captured. But when the photograph was developed, a figure appeared. A woman, seemingly descending the stairs. Her shape is clear. Her posture feels natural, too natural. She appears to be wearing a veil and a long, old-fashioned dress. This image has been scrutinized by experts for decades. They found no sign of manipulation, no double exposure, no technical error. Some have tried to explain it as a smudge on the lens or a trick of the light, but no single theory has ever been proven. The most disturbing part isn't just what she looks like. It's the fact that only one of the 2 men in the room saw her, and only for a fleeting moment. The camera, however, saw her perfectly. According to legend, the ghost is believed to be Lady Dorothy Walpole, who lived and died in the hall in the 18th century. And if she was walking down the stairs, where was she going? Next we have the Solway Firth spaceman. This photo was taken in 1964 by a firefighter and amateur photographer named Jim Templeton. He was out for the day with his wife and young daughter near a place called Burgh Marsh in Cumbria, England. It was a beautiful, quiet day. He wanted to take a simple picture of his daughter, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. He said that at the time, there was no one else around, except for 2 women sitting in a car at the far end of the marsh. He took 3 photos of his daughter in that spot. After getting the film developed at a local chemist, he was stunned by what he saw. In the second photo, a tall figure stood directly behind his daughter, white, faceless. It looks like it's wearing a helmet and some sort of suit. It wasn't in the first photo and it wasn't in the third, it was just there. Templeton insisted no one was standing behind her. He didn't see anything strange through his viewfinder. Investigators from Kodak examined the negative and confirmed it was genuine, with no signs of tampering. They couldn't explain the figure, suggesting it might be the girl's mother, who was also present that day, overexposed in the background. But Templeton dismissed this, saying his wife was behind him when the photo was taken. Even more unsettling, there were no footprints behind the child, where the figure would have been standing. If someone was there, how did they appear and disappear without leaving a single trace on the ground? The mystery deepened when Templeton claimed he was later visited by 2 men in black who questioned him about the photo, referring to each other only by numbers. The image remains one of the most famous and baffling paranormal photos ever taken. Now let's talk about the Cooper family falling body. This story is a classic piece of internet lore from the early 2000s. The tale goes that in the 1950s, a family named Cooper had just moved into a new home in Texas. They were excited, happy, and looking forward to their new life. To commemorate the moment, they gathered in the dining room for a family photograph. The grandmother, mother, and 2 children sat around the table, smiling for the camera. It was a perfectly normal family moment. Nothing unusual happened. They didn't hear anything, see anything, or feel anything out of the ordinary. But when they saw the developed image, their joy turned to horror. A body appears to be falling or hanging upside down from the ceiling. Its arms are stretched, its face is blurred and dark, and it's frozen mid-fall, just behind the 2 women. The lighting on the figure doesn't match the rest of the room. It's a grotesque, shocking intrusion into a happy family portrait. No one was upstairs. No one was falling. No one heard a single sound. The story says the family felt the house was different after that. Heavier, like something was watching. They supposedly moved out not long after and never took another photo inside that house. While many have since tried to debunk the photo, suggesting it's a double exposure or an intentional hoax, its origin remains murky and its visual impact is undeniable. The image itself creates a powerful sense of dread by juxtaposing the ordinary with the impossible. Finally, we look at the backseat figure. This photo, often called the ghost of Mabel Chinnery, was taken in 1959. A woman named Mabel Chinnery was visiting her mother's grave in a cemetery with her husband. After leaving flowers, she decided to take a photograph of her husband, who was waiting alone in the driver's seat of their car. She snapped the picture, capturing him smiling at the camera from behind the wheel. The day was uneventful and they soon drove home. Later, when they had the film developed, they looked at the photos from their visit. In the picture of her husband in the car, Mabel was shocked to see someone else. A person wearing glasses was sitting in the back seat, directly behind her husband. A face looking forward, not blurred, not distorted, just a calm presence. Mabel immediately recognized the figure as her own mother, the very woman whose grave they had just visited. No one else was in the car. No doors had opened. There was no movement, just a presence that appeared on the film. Her husband confirmed he was alone. Experts who have examined the photo have suggested it could be a simple case of double exposure or a reflection on the window, but Mabel Chinnery maintained until her death that it was the ghost of her mother, coming along for one last ride. The most disturbing part wasn't just the face. It was the feeling that the figure knew the photo was being taken, sitting there calmly as if they belonged. All four of these photos have something in common. At the moment they were taken, no one noticed anything wrong. The fear came later, when it was too late to look away, when the evidence was permanently captured. Some people believe these images are just coincidences, tricks of light, or elaborate hoaxes. Others believe the camera sees what our own eyes can touch, a hidden layer of reality that exists just beyond our perception. These photographs force us to confront the possibility that what we see isn't always the full picture. So here's the question. If something was standing next to you right now, would you notice it? Or would only the camera know? Which photo disturbed you the most? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe for more true stories, mysteries, and unexplained images. Thanks for watching.